Hey everybody, good Tuesday morning. This is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Petters. Quick update on the weather this morning. We've got those showers and some embedded thunderstorms trying to move in from the west. The storms are weakening quite a bit, but there's still a lot of strong winds associated with them. You can see the cold front back to the west. And I'm going to pause this. I'm going to turn on the severe weather outlook for today just to show you the area that is under the low risk. Most of our area has been removed from that medium threat, which is now up in the Tidewater region of Virginia into Delmarva, the southern part of Delaware, Maryland area up there towards the peninsula, as you come down on the east side of Chesapeake Bay. Now, there is still some pretty gusty storms in there, and I'm going to show you first warn Doppler radar here real quickly. You can see this line back to the west, and I have the dual panel on here, and you'll notice this area from around Asheville down to Greenville and Anderson, South Carolina. Embedded in there are some pockets of stronger wind, and if you see those blues showing up, those are winds that are getting close to 58 or 60 miles an hour. So this is going to be pushing to the east today pretty quickly and should be across the Piedmont sometime around 11 a.m., maybe even sooner. But there's not a lot of lightning with it. We've seen a couple cloud to ground strikes in this area down here, and this really is the area I'm going to be watching this morning and into the early afternoon. Where does this area go? Because to me, that is the area with the highest potential for producing some damage. So I'm going to turn all this off, and I'm going to show you our future cast here to kind of show you the progression of this into the afternoon hours. So real quickly, here's our future cast. We'll start this at 7 a.m. We'll go to 8 a.m., which it already is, 8:20 in the morning. We'll go forward here through the morning hours, and you can see the way this line is progressing through the mountains very slowly because the individual line is drifting slowly, but the storms themselves are actually moving pretty quickly. So here's the timing right around noon today. You can see the line has weakened quite a bit, but you see the broken line of showers around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Here's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Things kind of fall apart. So it kind of completely falls apart as we get later into the afternoon. So the worst weather is likely going to be when the line is right here between about Asheville, Hickory to Charlotte, and then it's going to fall apart. One of the other parameters I look at is what we call updraft helicity. Is there going to be any rotating storms today? So this is a look at the model trying to indicate what storms might have rotation in them. And if you look very carefully, there's a couple of these little cells that have a little bit of rotation, but honestly, that's very weak, and overall, there's just not a lot showing up on the radar with this future cast, at least as this moves through. So I'll loop this a couple times, and you can see the progression of this as it pushes to the east. Really not that big of a deal, but the one thing I will tell you, the winds are howling ahead of this line and even behind it. So there will be very strong winds today. In fact, let me turn the wind gust on here. I'm going to turn on the surface reports of wind gust here, just so you can see we've already had wind gusts out of the south anywhere from 25 to 35 miles an hour. So it's going to be a very windy afternoon regardless of whether these storms go severe or not. So just be weather aware this afternoon. Shouldn't be a major impact. Again, this will be in and out quickly. Temperatures actually warming up. In fact, the temperatures out there right now are in the upper 60s and going up as this warm front to the south has actually drifted already further north. It's actually more up in this area. You can kind of see where the warm front is now. So this front was earlier. It hasn't updated yet. It's drifting north. And that's what's ushering in the wind, the hot and kind of humid weather for this time of year. A lot of you might notice out there this afternoon. So be safe. Get out to the polls. No excuse not to vote today. This weather is not that bad. Something we could deal with as we get throughout the afternoon. Stay tuned for any updates. I will post them immediately online. Have a great day, everybody.